Yo, what is popping, guys? We are back on Pokemon Showdown for week 12 of the NPL. It's the last match of the season, of the regular season, versus our last divisional opponent, who we lost to in week 1. Reckless Bad, aka Nick, aka Coach of Texas Tyrantrums. Good friend of mine, really cool guy. Definitely should check him out. He improved a lot since season 1. He's one of the OG members of the NPL. He's also in the ITL. We played him there a couple of weeks ago. So definitely a hype match. If I win, I make playoffs. If I lose 0-3 or worse, I'm out of the playoffs. So definitely a really important game. I built a very fun team, which is basically offense plus two walls, like just to have some switch-ins to some more annoying stuff because I have a very slow team. I needed stuff that deals with Diancie, um, maybe a John Tapubulu and Greninja, obviously. Fortress is here mostly special defense, but a bunch of um, physical defense, stealth rogue, rapid spin, flash cannon, volt switch. Flash cannon for potential sub bulk up Bulu, just like just to make sure I can break the sub always and do like a solid chunk. I still Oko Diancie from full, so doesn't really matter over Gyro Ball. And to the rest of his team, as you see, he brings Necrozma, Melodic, him on top Arcanine, Miltank, and Greninja. To the rest of his team, Flash Cannon does basically the same damage as Gyro Ball, so didn't really make sense um, to go with Gyro Ball over Flash Cannon. Obviously holding leftovers just to have like some chill recovery. Next up, I have the Black Sludge Mungas, max specially defensive with triple step and protect. It is my check to Greninja or my switch in. As long as I don't switch into to a Shattered Psyche or a Sub-Zero Slammer, I always wall it because I have to protect. I can switch in on a Hydro or Dark Pulse, see if he's like a boosting item or if he's actually a Z-move user, and then I can protect on a potential Z-move scout for damage and pivot around on this thing because non-life of Greninja isn't really a threat to the rest of my squad, especially to my Azu, which I also bring unless he packs the gun shot and is actually physically offensive. Azu here is a bandit variant, triple step, obviously with priority, and the knockoff. Max speed, but adamant. Max speed, Azu actually speed crews Melodic by 1 point, and Nick has shown a tendency to not run any speed on Melodic and to often even run a min speed nature on Arcanine. I did my scouting here, so I'm fairly uh, fairly confident that Azu will outspeed the Melodic and the Hitmontop as well as the Necrozma and potentially even the Arcanine depending on how much speed he runs on it, or if it's like a zero speed variant. Celebi is a Nasty Plot variant with dual step and Shadow Ball, Psychic over Psy Shock because he has more like physical walls than special walls, and like Giga Drain does deal with his best special wall fairly well because it is Melodic, and Melodic will just drop to a +2 Giga Drain after rocks if he's a physically defensive variant, which I assume he will be because I have the Zardex. Cofarius here, I don't know why this thing is female, should be male, but probably forgot to put the gender on there and it randomized it, but who the fuck cares. My boy here with the Trick Room, Nasty Plot set, HP Fighting Shadow Ball, Ghostium Z because +2 Never Ending Nightmare actually outcosts Melodic after rocks if it's a max HP variant with like 84 speed FEVs even. Like can I get the guaranteed OCO after rocks on this thing, which is pretty huge before it can like potentially haze me and live on like 2% or something. Never Ending Nightmare will just drop this thing, which is pretty crazy considering it has like 95 base HP and 125 speed F. So yeah, the moves are pretty broken. And last is my Zardex, which has like a tremendous matchup versus team because only 3 months are faster than this thing. One of them is the Ninja, which he brings. He also has a Sneasel and a Mega Diancie. I figured Diancie doesn't have a good matchup because I have Fortress, Amungas, Azu, Celebi, all of which can easily check it. I have a Rhyperior that can always take a hit, and so on. Like I didn't see Diancie come at all. I have enough speed for Adamant Bulu, and I figured he would bring only one of his dark types, either Sneasel or Greninja, which means that I guaranteed outspeed the rest of his team of like 5 months he brings. Um, I would outspeed them if I like get my speed is correct. I have enough speed for Adam and Bulu. I figured he wouldn't run too much speed on his walls, and if I get like if I get to +2, I basically break down his walls to a point where Kofak and Celebi can easily sweep, which is cool, obviously. But this time I bring not Fire Punch, I bring Flare Blitz, Dragon Claw Roost, and I decide to bring Sword Stance over Dragonlance because, as I said, I outspeed 5 of his mons guaranteed, like maybe like potentially even his entire squad, and I knew he would bring the Intimidate, Shuffle, Core here with like Hitmontop and Arcanine, and if I get to like +1 with the Dragon Dance, you can always come in, get me to neutral damage, at which point I can never 2-hit KO Miltank, I can never 2-hit KO Melodic, I can never 2-hit KO the Necrozma. So I decided to bring Sword Stance, always like try to predict the Intimidators come in and go from there, like just boost up on them and like abuse stuff like Arcanine and Hitmontop as well as the Miltank as set up for the best thing they can do to me is like going for Earthquake, which never tweet KOs from like Hitmontop or Miltank, or like Toxic Me, in which case like I still get some hard hits off on them. Like if he wants to stay in, he has to take like over 50% after I boost up once. So really helps breaking down his core. So that's kind of lit. And I'm like super bulky, which means I can live a modest hydro pump even from the ninja unless it's like hydro vortex or something. So Zard can potentially live any one hit he wants to throw at me. I decided to lead off with my Azu, trying to get the offensive pressure on him as early in the game because the game plan basically was to kill as many mons on his team as possible just to like not lose 0-3 or higher. I just want to make playoffs here, obviously. So gotta play, can't play recklessly, but I can play I can apply offensive pressure on him just to make sure that I like get enough kills to to a point where I can only lose 0-1 or 0-2. So that's kind of cool, I guess. So I decided to lead off with my Azu as he leads with the Arcanine, which is both good and bad. Like Azu obviously can do a hefty chunk, even if he like even after the Intimidate, I do up to 83% to a max defense Arcanine. Mm. But I obviously don't want to stay in and hit like give like Melodic or Miltank a free switch in to like either set up a rock or set up the rocks or hit me with a Scald or Toxic. So I decided to switch out here because I don't want to take a Will-O-Wisp or a Wild Charge either. Um, but in my opinion, I didn't really expect the Wild Charge. I thought he would either go for the Willow, trying to like burn my Bandit Azu, but he doesn't know my set yet, so I thought it would be like probably not a good play on his part to go for the Wild Charge, but not the Wild Charge, the Will-O-Wisp. But if he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, I could go into my Zard and take the Willow and set up an SD on the Arcanine. And if he goes into the Miltank on the Melodic on the potential player up or Waterfall, I can like set up an SD on them. Maybe take a Toxic if need be, but definitely get a big hit off on something afterwards. So I decided to go into my Zard, even if he has a Wild Charge variant, which I didn't expect. I thought like I was pretty sure I would take it because um, with the Intimidate, I'm like fairly certain that it's a defensive arc, and defensive Arcanine cannot kill regular Zars with the Wild Charge anyway. And he has shown a tendency to not run offensive Arcanine or to run a recoil move, so I was fairly certain I like Zark was my best switch on this part on this mon. So he goes into Miltank, which I kinda expected. It's a very decent switch into Azu unless I have like the superpower, but even then, after the Intimidate and after the one superpower drop, I wouldn't be able to 2-hit KO the Miltank here. So what I decide to do here is I basically need Zard to wall break a little, like to weaken Arcanine, potentially Necrozma, and make get some chip off on the Miltank in order to force Celebi to sweep. Celebi has the Cobra Berry, so I take the Greninja's Dark Roots, and like all I need is some little damage on his fatter stuff in order for Celebi to sweep. So that's kind of lit. I decided to SD up and then like go to work with Mazard. As he goes directly for the Toxic, I predicted him to go for the Stealth Rock, but Toxic also makes sense, but he misses unfortunately, and that is absolutely huge. Like I get pretty lucky on turn 2. I have a fair share of luck sometimes this season, but I also have been on the other side, so I'm not like going to apologize for it, even though it feels bad because like it changes the outcome of the match heavily because like now what is he supposed to do? He can't like stall me out of stall me out with the Toxic, he knows that I can like get up to 70% off with the Dragon Claw. I could potentially kill with the Outrage, or like with a Brick Break or something. He doesn't know my entire set, and he is like forced to potentially go out into Arcanine or the Hitmontop to get an Intimidate off, and that will just stay at full HP. So the Toxic Mist definitely super huge for me. Like definitely sucks for him, but yeah, it happens. It's part of the game. So I just fire off the Dragon Claw here, gauge the damage, try to get damage off on the incoming Arcanine, which I do. Like now Arcanine definitely dies to Celebi. If I like get Necrozma to half, I have the sweep guaranteed, which is absolutely amazing. But yeah, Raja comes in, do 67% almost, which means he's max HP, but not max. Max defense is definitely Impish or Bolt, depending on like what set he ran. But there's no way he's offensive or anything. Like he has to have a lot of bulk here because Dragonclaw like doesn't ult or anything like that. Like he's fairly bulky. And now like I feel like he still doesn't want to sack his Arcanine, and I try to catch the Hitmontop on the switch in and SD up again. Like his Intimidate Core is now his best way to deal with the Zard X here, and I SD up again on the potential Hitmontop. As I read it correctly, I can fire off a Flare Blitz now again. I either get a roll or he's not max defensive. Like if he's max, I do 88 to 102% or something. So it could have been that it was like a heavy roll in his favor that he didn't get. So like I got a super high roll potentially, or he just wasn't like max. He potentially had some SPDF investment, not probably calcing 40 plus 2 Flare Blitz and some shit like that, because with Intimidate it's hard for me to be at plus 2 when Hitmontop comes in. So I didn't really expect him to be max defense. So I take some damage. I'm still out of range of like some stuff Greninja wants to do. As he sends out his Miltank back, and I'm surprised why. Like he could go potentially into Arcanine to get another Intimidate off on me, and then go out into Milotic to potentially Haze or Dragon Tail me out. But he goes hard into Miltank, and that means like what can he do potentially to me? Plus 2 Dragon Claw does up to like 56% I think, or 56 to maybe up to 60%. I think it's a 2-hit KO potentially, depending on his set. But what can he do to me? He can Earthquake, which is never a 2-hit KO. Can just boost off the damage. He can Toxic me, which I don't really mind. Or he can counter me, which is definitely a possibility. So against all these plays, like even if he wants to double out into the Arcanine here on my next play just to get Intimidated off, of all my plays, Swordsman is definitely the best play. So I decided to go for the Swordsman. I see it actually reveals to be a counter set, so good read on my part, and I'm at plus 4 now, and things are looking slim for him. But Dragonclaw from Arcanine is still not a guaranteed KO. Like if he's max Miltank, it does 87 to 102%, and I don't want to risk that, and like have him go for counter on the turn, like and kill me. So I go for another SD, and I'm at plus 6 now. He counters again, and now like things are basically over unless he's like Life Orb or Spectre Ninja, which he reveals later that he isn't. I get the KO on the Miltank, can like intimidate me once again with the Arcanine. I kill with the Dragonclaw. No need to predict anything. Dragonclaw now kills everything on his squad. Milotic comes in. He's hoping he lives a hit, but nope, just drops again. Now he brings in the Greninja. I figured like maybe what he should have done was, instead of going for counter with the Miltank when I was at plus 2, to go for the Toxic at first, then try to counter me, because had he gone for the Toxic first, I would have been fairly sure that he didn't have the counter. Then go for the counter and potentially kill me, or like just weaken me with the Toxic should I like roost up or go to plus 6 anyway, and then revenge me with the Ninja. I think like he sacked 1 or 2 months for no reason. Like obviously it was looking slim after I predicted the counter for him, but I think he still had a shot to of at least like killing my Zard and like get Greninja in earlier at least, so the arc doesn't like just run through his team. But anyway, Greninja comes in, and I'm fairly sure that this is not LIFO, but a Z Crystal variant, and he reveals to be the Sub-Zero Slammer, but that actually doesn't kill me because I'm 252 HP and 100 spit def, and just doesn't kill because Greninja without a life or specs is just too weak to like wall break or like OHKO stuff. I would say like Greninja doesn't have the power without the life or to do as much damage as it needs to. So Zardex gets another kill and kills the Necrozma here on the last turn. So definitely a match that should have been a lot closer in my opinion. Like my boy Nick here didn't deserve to go out like this. The Toxic Miss Office Animals like came in huge, but even if he like gets a Toxic off on me, I can potentially like get the, get enough damage off an Arcanine for Celebi to sweep or to like let Azu go to work with the player up. Because after like I weakened Zard with the plus one Dragon Claw, he had no switches for player up at all. Miltank gets 2 KOs after rocks, Milotic gets 2 KOs, Hitmontop gets O-Code, so is Greninja, and Necrozma can't take a knockoff plus a player up later. So after I got the damage off an Arcanine, the combination of Azu and Celebi looked pretty strong. And I also had my Kofak in the back, so I didn't feel like it obviously was a game-changing miss on the Toxic because it made the game much easier for me and I got the nice 6-0 in the last week. But I don't think that the outcome would have like I don't think I would have lost the game after I got the damage of an Arcanine. But always hindsight is 2020, and we don't really know that. But mm, anyway, this week 12, week 12 of the NPL, we actually make the playoffs after a 1-4 start, and yeah, fuck all the guys who said I was washed up. Like they all doubted me. Like I heard some, I heard some fun comments in the early weeks, but here we are again making playoffs and looking good. We are 7-5, clinching the number 3 seed. We have like the best differential in the conference, but sadly, one W out of like the number 1 place of the number 1 place in the conference. Like we have 2 teams at 8-4, and I'm like at 7-5, but doesn't really matter. Playoffs will start next week. We don't have a break or anything, and we are facing Urka Perka and his Amazon Warren Forests again, a division rival that we already played twice this season. We won both games, but um, definitely a very scary matchup. I think he doesn't like his matchup either because like Weavile plus Azu are really heavy threats to him. Like he doesn't really enjoy facing those, as well as the Zardex, which can deal with his team fairly well. But yeah, he also has a Halucha, which I just hate facing. But yeah, what can you do? gotta play around that, I guess. So definitely gonna be a fun match, and I'm really hyped for that. Like I always, even after I started 1-4, I always said that I'm gonna make playoffs. I guaranteed it, basically, despite some terrible matches. I didn't play as well as I could early in the season, but I finished with a nice 6-1 streak with only one loss coming to some bullshit flinching hacks. You probably watched that. So yeah, really hyped to be in the playoffs again and proving some people wrong. I don't know if I can win, if I will win the title. I don't want to make any promises. The field and the matchups are pretty hard this season. Not gonna lie, especially like whoever makes finals in the opposing conference will be a very tough matchup for me. I don't have the best matchup versus those guys. I feel, but definitely possible for us to win a title again and prove some people wrong. Shout outs to Gypsy King especially. Like we always talked about some strats, about some teams abroad. He, like I was like told him about the matchup and like what he thinks about the squads I bring. We like didn't really help me prep, but we discussed a lot of stuff that we could bring or that I could bring to matches and like really um, really helped me out with like his insight on my squads and like just having my back all season long despite some struggles during the early part of the season. Yeah. Anyway, that was week 12. Sorry about the hacks to Nick. Didn't deserve to get 6-0, but I might play him again in the ITL playoffs should I make it. So that's gonna be hype. And yeah, definitely go check him out. He's a super cool guy. And yeah, catch you next week in the playoffs, guys. Hope you enjoy. See ya.